Hi, it's Terry. This is an all levels Flow Foundations yoga practice. Take it as slowly as you'd like. Pay attention to your alignment. Stay safe and have some fun. Let's start in a child's pose, Balasana. So be sitting on your knees, on your shins, with your hips back towards your heels. If you have any problems with your knees or shins on the floor, you can just take a pause and go get a blanket or a towel and just fold it up and place it in the middle of your mat. So we'll be on our knees for a little bit at the beginning of class. Then in child's pose, bring your arms behind you with the palms facing up. Let your shoulders roll forward. It's the embryo pose. The forehead is being supported on the floor. The belly and chest are being supported on the upper thighs. Take a few moments to settle in here. You can wiggle your way around a little bit. Notice that you can engage your core by pulling the navel into the spine and zipping it up. You can actually lengthen the tailbone down a little bit more, feel a little bit more length in the lower back. Feel the outer back ribs melt forward and down. When you breathe in next, feel the back ribs expand. As you breathe out, feel a little bit more of a settling, a little bit more of a grounding. Again, inhale, feel all the way up. Open mouth, breath out, slowly sigh it all the way out. One more round of breath in. Slow breath out. Begin a pattern of breath on your own, breathing in and out through your nose. Keep it soft, gentle, rich and textured. Use this breath to lead you through your practice. As you breathe in next, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. You can flip your hands so your fingertips face the floor, and as you exhale, lead with the belly, the chest, or the chin and the head back down. Inhale, slowly rolling it up. Anchor the belly in, feel the spine start to slowly roll up, shoulders back, arching the spine. As you exhale, follow the belly, the chest, and the chin down. Two more times. Inhale, slowly rolling it up. As you exhale, lead with the chest as you roll it down. One more round of breath in, pulling all the way up, standing tall on your shins, and as you exhale, slowly lower it down. As you roll up next, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. As you exhale, lower your hands to the floor for tabletop position. Make sure your fingers are spread wide. Weight on the knuckles, particularly the thumb and the index finger. Shin bones are parallel. Knees are directly underneath your hips. As you breathe in, draw the chest to the shoulders. Make sure your arms are nice and straight. Spin the inner arms towards one another. Look up. On the exhalation, round the spine. Let your head and neck relax. Inhale, draw the chest to the shoulders for your cow. Make sure you're pressing weight into the hands to get the lift in the shoulders. As you exhale, hug the belly in and press the spine to the ceiling. Breath in, draw the chest to the shoulders, and as you exhale, draw weight onto your left hand, your left knee. Swing your left hip over. Swing your hips back towards your heels like child's pose. Swing the hips over to the right. Weight on the right hand and then back to center. And again, exhale. Press weight into your left hand. Find a slow, gentle circle all the way around. Reverse it. Weight onto your right hand. Weight towards your right hip all the way around. Swinging the hips around. As you exhale, push the floor away. Send your hips back to your heels to the right. Swing them over to the left. Come all the way back to center. Nice firm weight on both hands. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Level off your hips so they're nice and square to one another. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring your right leg up. Roll your right hip down. Point your toes. Keep engaging your right leg, drawing your toes to the back of the room, drawing the chest forward. Remember, your arms are staying nice and straight. As you breathe in next, raise your right leg up, lift the chest, a little bit of a back bend. As you exhale, curl the knee into the nose and round it out. Again, inhale, extend, but don't hammock into the lower back. Pull the belly in to support it. As you exhale, bring your knee into your nose and round it out. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to extend the leg. Exhale, curl the knee in. Leave it here. Press away from the floor with your hands. Spread the shoulder blades away from the spine. Lift the right knee up a bit higher. Flex into your right ankle. Step your right foot all the way to your right thumb. If that's not happening, just grab your right ankle with your right wrist and pull it to the front. Sink the hips nice and low. Bring your arms over here for an Anjaneyasana, a kneeling crescent lunge. Press into your right foot. Pull your right hip back. As you sink the hips a little bit more deeply, the right knee is drawing a little over your ankle. Hug the right outer hip in, but relax your shoulders. So as you're sinking the lower body down, you're lifting the upper body up. Feel the ribs light up away from the lower back waist. Take another breath in. Feel the extension. As you exhale, twist to your right, bring your arms outstretched. Stay in your twist. As you breathe in next, press into your right foot. Pull your way back so your knee is lined over your ankle. You have more opportunity to twist. Exhale, sink the hips a little bit more deeply. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink it down. 2 more times. Inhale, press down, pulse it up. Maintain your twist, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, bend. Inhale, press down, pull up and back. Exhale, bend. Swing your arms back to center, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands can come to the floor or to blocks or books. Inhale, sink the hips a little bit lower, but draw the chest forward and up. Remember the belly's engaged. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Walk your hands back. They can be on the floor, they can be on blocks. Pull your right toes towards your shin and scoot your right heel forward a bit. Tenting your fingertips, lengthen as you breathe in. Draw the chest, the belly towards your right knee. Bow it down. 2 more rounds of breath just like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, melt it down. Continue to pull your right hip back. Inhale to lengthen. Extend the chest forward. Exhale, melt it down. On your next inhalation, bend back into your right knee. Bring your hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes. Lift your left knee off the floor. Left leg is long and engaged. Right foot is firmly to the floor to pin your outer hips towards one another. Hips are nice and level. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands can come to your knees, your shins, or to blocks. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. As you exhale, hinge down for forward fold, head and neck relax. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, low runner's lunge. Press into your right foot, hug your right hip back, lengthen your left leg. Supporting the lower body with the firmness of the hips, the firmness of the stance of the feet, left heel is high to pull your left hip forward, right hip cinches into the left, right to midline. Staying here for another breath. As you exhale, lower your left knee to the floor. Hands to the floor, send your right knee back to meet your left. Child's pose, Balasana, send your hips back towards your heels. Crawl your hands over towards the left front corner of your mat. You can grab your right wrist with your left hand, peek underneath your right shoulder, but keep pulling your right hip back. Find a lot of space between your ribs. Relax and soften into your right shoulder. Breathe in and out for another 3. Find a little bit more stretch, a little bit more of a C curve in the right side of your body. Next, inhale, bring your hands back to center. Return to your tabletop position, hands and knees. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Anchor into the ball of the foot to ignite your left hamstrings and roll your left hip down. Hips stay nice and level. The belly is supporting the lower back. Hug it in. So you slowly raise your left leg, leading with the inner thigh. Hips stay nice and level. Point your toes. Feel a nice stretch in front of your foot. Stay here for another breath, but lift your left leg up a bit higher. Draw the chest to the shoulders without hammocking into the lower back or the shoulders. So you exhale, bring your knee into your nose and round it out. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl it in. Hug the knee in. Try to kiss it. Flex into your left ankle. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Sink hips nice and deeply. Firm weight on your left foot. Bring your arms by your ears and reach up. Press into your left heel. Hug your left hip back. Ribs are lifting up as the lower body is sinking down a little bit more deeply. Another breath in. As you exhale, twist to your left. Arms are outstretched. Broaden into your collarbones. Take a breath in. Pump weight into your left foot. Pull your way up so your shoulders are lined directly over your hips. As you exhale, bend a little bit more into your left knee, but maintain your twist. Inhale, press into your left foot. Pull your way up, maintaining the twist. Exhale, sink hips a little bit more deeply. Left knee slides forward. Inhale, press down, pull up and back. Exhale, bend back into your left knee. On your next inhalation, bring your left arm by your ear to reach forward. Exhale, hands to the floor. Sink the hips down low, look up. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Slide your left heel forward so your hips are still aligned over your right knee. Tense your fingertips outside, lengthen as you breathe in. Exhale, melt it down. Each breath in is a subtle extension of the torso. As you exhale, it's a little bit more of a release of any tension. You might feel a lot of stretch outside your left leg. Inhale, lengthen. Slide the navel towards the left knee. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bow it down. And then into your left knee, crawl your way forward. Tuck your back toes, lift your right knee off the floor for a low runner's lunge. Press into your right foot, pull your left hip back. Slide your right heel forward, right hip forward. Take a breath in, belly's engaged. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Rock your way forward, Ardha Uttanasana, long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Exhale, hug the belly in as you bow it down, forward fold. Firm weight into your feet, long spine as you bring your arms by your ears. Reach high, Utthita Hastasana, shoulder heads are soft. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastita, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. Exhale, hinge down. Follow the breath, follow the chest. Breath in, lengthen, chest forward, get the length. On the exhalation, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Staying here in a low runner's lunge for about 4 breaths. Maybe come onto your fingertips, pulling your left hip back, gliding your right hip forward. Core is engaged. Cinch the outer hips towards midline, scissoring your inner thighs. Another breath. Lower your right knee. Step your left knee to meet your right. Child's pose, Balasana, hips towards your heels. Crawl your hands over towards the right. Pull your left hip back. Get that sense of nice spaciousness between your left rib cage. You can look underneath your left arm, pulling your left hip back. You can grab your right wrist with your left hand. Continue to roll the chest up towards the ceiling. Another 2. Another breath. Come back to center. Place your hands in front of you. Make sure that they're shoulders width distance apart. Fingers are spread wide. Separate your feet. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing firmly into your hands. Remember, your knuckles are spread wide. You're pressing weight into them as well as the fingertips. Getting a little bit more oomph and support as you roll your inner arms towards your ears. Hug the belly in, gather in the belly as you lift your kneecaps up. Feel a little bit more engagement in your quads. Send your thigh bones back. Let your head and neck relax and even roll it around a little bit. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You're using your legs as well as using your hands and your arms. Maintain a nice long line, almost feeling narrower in your waist. A lot more space in your spine. Another inhale and an exhale. On your next inhalation, come into a high plank position. Pulling the heels back, gathering the belly, pull the chest forward. Staying here for another 2. Remember the lower front body supporting the back body. 1. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, slide all the way down onto the chest and belly. Bring your hands a little bit further back, but leave your elbows bent. Roll the heads of the shoulders up and back, a loop. Press into the pelvis. Pull the navel into the spine. Lift the chest forward and up. Try not to use a lot of weight on your hands. You're merely using your hands to help assist the chest forward. Legs are slightly engaged, lifting your kneecaps up. Press firmly into all 10 toenails. That includes the pinky toes as well. Just make sure that your ankles aren't rolling out. You want to have a nice levelness to the heels up towards the ceiling. Breathe here in Bhujangasana, baby cobra for another 3. Neck is long. Look at the floor in front of your mat. 2. Shoulder blades together, soften into the tops of the shoulders. 1. Slowly roll it down. Press into your hands. Send your way back to down dog, tucking your toes, hips are high. Push the floor away with the hands. Pull the hips up and back using your legs. Breathing in and out for another 2. 1. Next breath in into your high plank position. Feel free to lower your knees just like before. Exhale, lower halfway down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank, or all the way to the floor. Breath in, return to your baby cobra or straighten your arms for up dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. In up dog, your shoulders are directly aligned over your wrists. You're firmly on the tops of your feet. Lift your knees off the floor. Thighs are off the floor. Engage them even more. Hips pull down and forward. Press into your hands. Pull your chest forward and up. Shoulder, head soft. Another breath. Exhale, everybody return to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Continue to push away from the floor with the hands. Continue to send your hip bones high, sliding your tailbone down. On your next inhale, lift your heels high. As you exhale, leaving the heels high, bend your knees. Push the chest towards your thighs. It's crouching tiger. So you're creating this nice deep, deep bend in the knees, nice hinging at your hips. Inhale, keeping the legs straight. Straighten them up a little bit more. Good. Exhale, lower your heels to the floor. 2 more rounds like this. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Push the floor towards the front of the room. Send your chest to your thighs. Look back at your toes. Inhale, straighten your legs. Hips are nice and high. Chest a little bit closer to your thighs now. As you exhale, heels to the floor. 1 more time. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, crouching tiger. Push the floor away. Send your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, heels settle to the floor. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees and walk or jump lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in, lengthen, chest forward. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastita, equal standing. Moving at pace, nice and slowly. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach up. As you exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Variation of Sun Salute C's. Inhale to lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Place the knee to the floor. Arms reach overhead, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Straighten your left leg, send your hips back towards your heel, half split. Inhale, bend back into your left knee. Hands to the floor, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the floor. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Vinyasas are always optional. Stay here or on your next breath in into a high plank. Staying here or lowering your knees. Exhale, lower down through low plank, chaturanga, or to the floor. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, raise your right leg behind you, down dog split. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, step your right foot to the top of the mat to your right thumb, place your left knee to the floor, arms reach overhead, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, float your hands to the floor, sink hips a little bit more deeply as you breathe in. Exhale, straighten your right leg, half split pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. Bend back into your right knee, crawl your way forward. Take a breath in, lift your left knee off the floor. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, forward fold, chest to thighs. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward, rock your way forward. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastita, equal standing. Other side, big sweep up, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Place the knee to the floor, arms reach overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the chest up. Exhale, straighten your right leg, hips to your heel, right toes go to your shin. Bend back into your right knee, crawl your way forward. Hands to the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your left knee off the floor. Step back to a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Staying here or join me in a flow, inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down through low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, forward and up, upward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take an inhale and let it go. Next inhalation, raise your left leg behind you, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat. Place your right knee to the floor, kneeling crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, lower your hands to the floor, sink hips lower, look up. Exhale, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Send your left hip back, chest towards your knee. Inhale, bend back into your left knee, tuck your back toes. Take a breath in. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, forward fold, chest to thighs. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Arms by your side, standing tall in mountain pose. Make sure that your arms are nice and relaxed, so nothing rigid in mountain pose. Shoulder heads are soft. Tailbone is drawing down. Front of the pelvis is lifting up, so you have a nice neutral pelvis. Palms face the front of the room together. Bring your shoulders forward and up. Big stretch up. Open mouth, breath out. Relax it down. Again, shoulder heads pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. Good. One more round. Inhale, shoulders pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. Good. Standing tall at the tops of your mats. One Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salute A. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, follow your chest down for your forward fold, Uttanasana. Head and neck relax. Inhale, lengthen. Hands can slide up to your knees or your shins. As you exhale, hands plant by your feet. Step back to a high plank. Staying here for a breath or perhaps lowering your knees. Exhale, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, up dog, or your baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 5 cycles of breath here. Continue to push the floor away with the hands. Let your head grow heavier. Feel a sense of space behind your neck. Sense of softness right at the tops of your shoulders. Another 2. 1. Next, inhale, heels are high. Exhale, bend your knees, push back, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Take an in-breath to lengthen. A breath out, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Bend your knees. Bring your hands, your fingertips to the touch of the tops of your mats. Keep the knees nice and bent. Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink hips down nice and low. Drop the tailbone down, pubis is lifting. Feel a bit of breath in the lower back as you lift the ribs away from it. Soften into your shoulders. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Keep squeezing your outer hips together. Breath in. Exhale, twist your left, arms outstretched. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, back to center. Keep the bend in the knees, but lift your heels off the floor. Start to straighten into your legs. Dive it down. Keep your heels lifted as long as you can for diver's pose. Eventually, your heels will land. Take an in-breath to lengthen, chest forward. As you exhale, take it through your vinyasa or just step to your downward facing dog. Vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Inhale for the back bend of an up dog or a baby cobra. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let it go. Next, in-breath, step your right foot to the top of the mat, to your right thumb, place your left heel to the floor. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Sink the right knee forward. Spin the outer left thigh forward a bit more. Draw your left arm forward to spin your left ribs forward so the entire rib basket is square to the top of the room. Bring your left arm back up overhead. Breathe in next. Lower the lower body a little bit more, but lift the upper body. Breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Ardha Mukha. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in and let it go. On the next inhalation, step your left foot to your left thumb. Place your right heel to the floor at an angle. Deep bend in left knee. Long right leg. Bring your arms overhead. Virabhadrasana 1. Sink hips nice and low, but continue to anchor into the outer edge of your back foot. Pull your right outer thigh forward. Pin your left hip back. Soften into your shoulders. Bring your right arm forward. Feel a little bit more of a spin of the ribs to face the front of the room. Right arm reaches back up overhead. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Step from high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take a breath in. Let it go. Separate your feet a little bit at the back of your mats, toes out to the sides. Bend your knees, walk your hands all the way to the back of the mat for Malasana squat. If this is tough for you, you can always place your bum on a block or a book, or even come up like this. Otherwise, sink the hips as low as you can. Bring the insides of your elbows to the outsides of your knees. Press the palms together. When you do this, feel the tailbone draw down. Feel a bit more of a broadening into the collarbones. Another 2 breaths here. And bring your hands to the floor. Straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet back to center. Grab your elbows and hang for a few moments. Just let your head and neck grow heavy. You can sway around a little bit if you'd like. Hug the belly in. Reverse your grip so the other forearm is on top. Use the leverage of your hands and your elbows to pull the arms down more. Feel a bit more length in the side body, truly letting your head dangle down. Notice if your weight is drifted towards your heels, pull your weight a little bit more towards the balls of your feet. Release your elbows, a little bit of a bend into your knees. Slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time, stacking the middle back on top of the lower back, upper back on top of the middle back. Shoulders scooch all the way up to your ears. Open your mouth, exhale. Let it go. One more round. Inhale, shoulders pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out. Standing at the backs of your mats. Place weight onto your left foot. Option to come into a tree pose, Vrikshasana, with your right knee out to the side, sliding your foot inside of your leg, perhaps all the way up to the top of the thigh. Or maybe a figure 4 position. It's a variation of a chair pose. It's a half-legged half chair pose, one-legged half chair pose. Press the palms together, draw your right knee out, curl your toes towards your shin. That bend in your back, in your standing leg, is a nice platform for your right foot. You can also pull your left hip back so it lines up with your right, pulling the chest towards the heels of the hands so you aren't collapsing into your chest. Perhaps sinking a little bit more deeply. Continue to flex into your right ankle. Neck is long. Go as low as you can. If you're in triangle pose, make sure hips are nice and level to the floor. Pressing your left thigh into your right foot to get a little bit more lift up of your left hip. Breathing here for another 3, 2. Use your next breath to gradually come all the way up. You can just straighten your right leg in front of you and shake it all out. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat, coming into a downward facing dog. Staying in your down dog, or optional, raise your right leg behind your down dog split. Bend your right knee, yawn your right hip open. Start to really feel a lot of space and sensation inside of your right thigh. Knee is directed towards the ceiling. Press weight into your left hand to continue to draw more length in the left side body. Open up even more. On your next inhalation, square off your hips, extend the right leg. Exhale, slowly tap your right arm with your right knee. Look forward. It's a 3-legged plank with the right knee to the right arm. Inhale, draw the right leg back. Exhale, tap your left arm with your right knee. Look forward, nice long line. Inhale, draw the right leg back. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands at the top of your mat. Place your left heel to the floor at an angle like a warrior 1. Make sure your right heel is lined up with your back arch. Right hand can come to a block or to the floor in front of your right foot. Left arm reaches overhead, gradually sliding your right leg straight into Triangle Pose, Utthita Trikonasana. My personal preference is to have the back of my hand inside of my right shin, so I can press the shin into the hand into the shin to get a little bit more extension in the right side body. Everybody take your left hand to your right ribs. Roll the right ribs towards in front of you and lean back. Then bring your left arm overhead. These self-assists are always really helpful, particularly when you're practicing by yourself and you don't have the benefit of a teacher's eyes or hands on you. Lengthen as you breathe in. A little bit more twist when you breathe out. Make sure your left thigh bone is drawing back. Lift up with the left hand. Look over your shoulder. Staying here for another breath. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Bend into your right knee, bend into your right knee. Bring your hand to a block of the floor at the top of your mat for Half Moon Rising, Ardha Chandrasana. As you start to slowly straighten your right leg, make sure your left leg is long. Recreate the shape that you had in your triangle pose. Pressing down to lift up. Another breath. Slowly returning to your Warrior Two. Bend into your right knee into a Warrior Two position. Hands on hips. Hips are nice and level. Arms are outstretched. Soften into your shoulders. Weight on the outer border of your back foot. Lengthen your left leg. Sink the hips a little bit more deeply. It's a nice long stance. Your knee is directly over your right ankle. Knee is directed to the two middle toes. Take another breath. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Tap your hands at the top. Exhale, return to your Warrior Two. Inhale, straighten, clap. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, tap. Parallel your feet. Arms are outstretched. Exhale, hinge all the way down for wide-legged forward fold. You can grab your big toes, the two fingers and a thumb. Lengthen when you breathe in. Rock your way forward. Elbows out to the sides. Hug the belly in and let the head and neck relax down. You're basically encouraging the outer ribs towards the inner thighs. Make sure you still have weight in the outer borders of your back foot, or the outer borders of each foot. And just find a sense of softness at the base of the neck. If your legs are straight, kneecaps can slide up. You can always place your hands on supportive blocks or books. Continue to draw your way forward. Continue to settle the back hips up. Another 2. 1. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come onto your fingertips to lengthen. Slide your right hand way in front of you off of your mat. Draw your left arm underneath your right arm. Grab your right leg with your right hand. Anywhere you can grab. Continue to pull your way towards the balls of your feet. Your right hand is on the floor for support and comfort. Bend into your left elbow. As you peek underneath your right arm, when you breathe in, lengthen a bit more into the front body. Exhale, find a bit more of a pivot of your ribs around your spine. Another breath in. Find a bit more of a twist. Ease into it. Slowly unwind yourselves. Let your body do the work for you. Hands underneath your shoulders. Lengthen as you breathe in. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Spin around to face the top of your mat. Left hand underneath your left shoulder. Right arm out to the right for an easy, simple twist. Press into your left hand and lift your left hip up so it lines up with your right. You want the sacrum nice and level to the ceiling, even taking your right hand to your lower back to make sure this is happening. Left leg is long and supportive. Right arm reaches overhead. Press into your left hand. Glide your chest forward. Spin your ribs towards your right inner thigh. Lean the right shoulder blades back into one another, into the left. Staying here for another breath. Lower your right hand inside of your right foot. Roll onto the outside of your left foot. Heel toe your right foot down the side of your mat. The toes are dialed out to the sides. Right arm can reach overhead, but lift your hips up. You can either stay here or continue to crawl your foot back, staggering your feet into a side plank variation, Vashisthasana. Press down, lift up. You can always lower your left knee to the floor as well. Staying here for another 2. Press down, lift hips even more for 1. Exhale, come back to center. Lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Place one hand on top of the other. Settle into this slight back bend of a sleeping crocodile. Notice if your breath sped up. Roll your hips around a little bit. Slowing down your breath. Slide your hands out from underneath your forehead. Draw the arms behind you, fingertips, palms face down. Heads of the shoulders up and back. Lift the chest and shoulders off the floor. Press into the pelvis. Pull the navel into the spine. Slowly raise your legs up. So you're reaching and lengthening the legs. Then you're getting a little bit more of a lift up. You're reaching the arms back as you're reaching the chest forward. Shoulder blades drawing towards one another to get some more opening in the front body. Breathing in Shalabhasana, locust pose for another 3, 2, Perhaps lift up a bit more. 1. Come all the way back down. Hands can come back underneath your head. Place your one cheek to the hands and just wiggle things around a little bit. Eventually coming back to center. Press your palms underneath your shoulders. Send your way back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Take an inhale. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Again, breath in. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. One more round of breath in. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Bring a soft bend into your knees. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Stacking vertebra on top of vertebra. Arms dangle heavily by your sides. Shoulders pull forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Again, inhale, shoulders pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Drawing weight onto your right foot. Either repeat what you did on the first side, but vary it if you'd like to. If you came into tree pose on the first side, try figure 4 on this side. Ekapada Ardha Utkatasana, one-legged half chair pose. If you are in your half chair pose, bend into your right knee, curl your toes towards your shin of the left foot, hands to prayer at heart center. Press the palms together, feel that engagement in the upper body. Start to sink the hips down a little bit more deeply. Notice if you start to get sassy in your right hip, pull it back. Continue to sink as low as you can, challenging yourself, challenging your balance. Getting that nice stretch in the left glute. If you're in your triangle pose, a firm sense of balance comes from lifting your right thigh bone back. Everybody marry your breath and your gaze, both soft and consistent together. Gradually bring your way back up. Straighten your left leg, shake it off, all the way back out. Yep. Breath in, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, walk your hands to the top of your mat, coming into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying here on your next breath, raise your left leg behind you. Continue to pull your right hip back in space. Firm weight on the left hand as you bend your left knee, yawn it open. As you draw your knee towards the ceiling, your left heel is going towards your right bum. Continue to press weight into your left hand to maintain that length. Shoulders are square to the top of the mat. Next inhalation, square it off, extend your left leg. As you exhale, tap your left arm with your left knee. Three-legged plank. Inhale, gradually glide the left leg back. Exhale, tap your right arm. Inhale, glide the left leg back. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat between your hands. Place your right heel to the floor at an angle. Left hand inside of left foot. Right arm reaches overhead. Slowly slide your left leg straight. Back of your left hand can be inside of your shin. You can have your hand on a block for support. Make sure the hand is underneath your shoulder. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Take your right hand. Wrap it down underneath you to your left ribs. Slide your left ribs towards the right. Lean the right chest back. Right arm can reach back up overhead. Continue to press into your left big toe mound to pull your left hip back. Continue to lengthen the torso towards the front of the room. Lean the right chest back into the shoulder blades and look over your head. Stay here for another breath. Look down, right hand to right knee. Staying in your triangle pose if you'd like, or challenge your balance by bringing your left hand to a block or to the floor. Raising your right leg up for half moon rising, Ardha Chandrasana. Right arm extends overhead. There can be a soft bend in your left knee if that helps you with your balance. Keep reaching up. Maybe there's a lightness of your left hand wherever it is. You're using that to help you press up. Staying here for another 2. 1. Bend, bend, bend into your left standing leg. Come into your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Nice deep, deep bend in your left knee. Nice long right back leg. Arms are extending out to the sides. Soften into your shoulders. Maybe you might benefit from bending a little bit more into your left knee and straightening your right leg more. Breathing here for another breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Clap your hands at top. Exhale back to your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten, press down, pull up. Exhale, lower it down. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten. Parallel your feet, arms outstretched. Exhale, hinge all the way down for wide-legged forward fold. Take an in-breath, come onto your fingertips, rock your way forward. Slide your left hand in front of you off the mat. Right hand draws underneath your left arm, grab your left leg wherever you can. Press weight into the outer border of both feet and pull your right hip up. Peek underneath your left shoulder. Continue to crawl your left hand in front of you. Bending into your right elbow, find the extra length in the right side waist. Finding a little bit more of a chance to twist the ribs around the spine. Take another inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind. Let your spine do the work for you. Inhale, come onto your fingertips to lengthen. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Crawl your way around to face the top of your mat. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Left arm out to the left. Twist open towards the left, but lead to the center of the chest towards your left inner thigh. Press firmly into your right hand to get a little bit more length in the right side. Find your twist at the chest. Continue to firm your hips together. Hips stay nice and level to the top, to the ceiling. Staying here for another breath. Roll onto the outside of your right foot. Heel toe your left foot down about a third of the way. Toes are dialed away from you. Feel that beautiful stretch in your left glute as you press into your left foot, sending your hips high. You can either stay here in this beautiful modification of a Vashisthasana, or continue to heel toe your left foot down towards your right. You can stagger your feet. You can lower your right knee to the floor. Wherever you are, you're pressing down, lifting up. Right shoulders directly aligned over your wrist. Staying here for another 2, 1. Come into your high plank position. One more time, lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Arms reach long behind you. You have the option of not doing anything. You have the option of returning to your Shalabhasana, lifting your feet, lifting your legs. You have the option of clasping your hands behind you, drawing the knuckles away from the lower back, extending the arms behind you, or perhaps bending into your knees, reaching for your feet for Dhanurasana bow pose. Bring your knees closer together. Press the feet into the hands. Feel the chest lift. Lift the thighs off the floor. Shoulder heads are soft, but shoulder blades are drawing towards one another. Breathing here for another 5, 4, 3, neck is long, 2, 1. Settle your thighs back to the floor. Release your feet or your hands or whatever you are doing. Place your cheek, the opposite cheek to the floor from the other side. Bend your knees and tick-tock your feet back and forth a bit. When you're ready, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press your way back to child's pose. Separating your knees a little bit, slide your hands back behind you, embryo pose, returning to the shape you created at the beginning of class. Notice how there might be some tenderness in your lower back from the back bending. Slide your tailbone down. Find a lot more rounding in the upper back as you slide your shoulders forward. Outer ribs melt towards the front ribs. Soften into your breath. Soften into your shape. This is containing all the energy of your practice, smoothing it out. Eventually, slowly rolling up. Cross your ankles behind you, sit back behind your heels. Slide your legs in front of you. Slowly lower all the way down onto the back. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a little bit of a squeeze. If you'd like to come into a happy baby, grab the outer edges of your feet. The outer edges, drawing your knees toward your armpits. Settling your tailbone down to the floor, getting even longer and broader in the lower back. Feel free to straighten one leg and then the other. Roll around from one side to the other. Eventually bring your knees back together. Settling your feet underneath your knees. Shift your hips a little bit over towards the right and drop your knees over towards the left. Draw your right arm out to the right. Close your eyes. Continue to soften into your breath. Soften into your shape. Breathe into wherever you feel the sensation the most. You turn your knees back to center. Shift your hips a little bit over to the left. Drop your knees over towards the left. Turn your head to the left, left arm outstretched to complete your twist. Soft breath in and out. Soften into your jawline. Soften into the space between your eyebrows. Eventually returning back to center. Straighten your legs in front of you. Let your knees and feet flop open. Arms by your sides, or you can leave them out to a T with the palms facing up. Feel the front body melt into the back body. And start to feel everything settle in. A sense of grounding, but also kind of a sense of floating. For your conscious rest, Shavasana. As always, I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you comfortably can. You're in your own personal space. You have control over your own time. Eventually, you can start to bring movement into your fingers and toes and your wrists and your ankles. Take your time rolling your head from one side to the other. Bring your arms long behind you. Take a long, full body breath in. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. And gather your knees into your chest, roll over onto your right side. Let the stillness of your Shavasana continue to settle in. You can retain it for the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Gradually bring your way up into a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands pressed together at the center of your chest. Pull the heart right into the heels of the hands. Together we'll take another long, slow, smooth breath in. Open our mouths, exhale, let it go. Honoring the light in you that is the light in me, I thank you so much for sharing it with me. Namaste. I'm Terry. Have a brilliant day.